Welcome to the final part of The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, folks. Let's finally go and deal with Ganondorf, shall we? Ganondorf. Yeah, you took over Hyrule. You kidnapped the princess. You destroyed my hood. You fucked my wife. You steal my job. And now you want to be my best friend? Ganondorf, to that, I say fuck you. Oh god, please tell me that I'm not the only person who remembers that. Oh dear, again, it reminds me I really need to go back and do another GTA game too. Jesus Christ, that thing is out of key. Like, seriously, man, you can't hear that? Like, yeah, it's like, yeah, oh, I feel like I'm gonna go deaf. But yes, courage, wisdom, and power have all finally been united together. And yes, if you come to this point in the game and your health is taking a bit of a hit, you do get recharged right then and there. The Triforce parts are resonating. They are combining into one again. The two Triforce parts that I could not capture on that day 7 years ago. I didn't expect they would be hidden within you two. And now, finally, all the Triforce parts have gathered here. These toys are too much for you. I command you to return them to me. Yeah, it kind of sucks, doesn't it, Zelda, that for the rest of our existence we'll be we are eternally destined to be interlinked with this twat muffin. Link, I can't help you. Because of the waves of darkness, I can't get close. I'm sorry, Link. Alright, it's time to deal with the great king of evil, Ganondorf. Right, first things first. Yeah, get out to the edge of the arena. That first hit will do you in pretty quick. And yeah, it's now time for us to play a bit more tennis. Yeah, it's the exact same way that he dealt with the Phantom. Yeah, he throws a big ball of energy at your ass, and you hit it with your sword to deflect it back. I might actually switch back to the Begoron sword for this fight, at least for this, because it does it does have a much longer reach. Jesus Christ, you gotta be so cunting precise. Yeah, you know what? I can't. Yeah, screw this.
Seriously! You can't be serious! That ball is on the line!
I never was good at tennis. There we go, that's way better. There we go, and now that we've hit him, there we go. Pop the light arrows. Shove it up his ass. There we go. I think we can also now give him a good shellacking as well. Yeah, we do need the Master Sword to ultimately defeat him, but we don't need it just yet. There we are. And oh no, not that. Yeah. Fuck! I was too. Yeah, I was too late. Oh, I accidentally blew up part of the platforms as well. Okay, hang on. Alright, bring it, big boy. There we go. Another light arrow. Yeah, I'm not actually too sure how many shots it's going to take. Yeah. Wah. Don't want it. no givesies backsies. There we go. Alright. Also notice those two platforms that are destroyed with the bomb earlier haven't come back either, so you gotta be, yeah, I guess you do need to be really careful, because if they all get destroyed, you just made the battle that much more difficult for yourself. Boom. Bam. Eat it. Just to make her be absolutely certain as well. Pop out the Master Sword. There we go. I actually am going to try and deflect those bolts with the Master Sword again. I should practice doing this. See, maybe when they're... Oh, god damn it! Oh, jeez, that's a big one. I think if I can... Nope. Yeah, no, unfortunately this isn't Metroid Dread rules. I can't just... Although, actually, maybe if I shoot him directly... There we go. Yeah, sorry, I thought if I shot the energy ball, that would actually do a little bit more, but, no. The great evil King Ganondorf, beaten by this kid. Link. God, I've got a bad hangover. Actually, yeah, no, truth be told, yeah, it's a little bit more noticeable later on in the game. But yeah, you notice that Ganondorf coughed up some green gunk there. That was originally red. Yeah, that was like Ganondorf coughing up blood.
Die.
But yeah, no, they ended up having to edit that in later releases because yeah, blood in the kids' game was something that they weren't, and yet they still got away with like the bottom of the well. Weird. Ganondorf. Pitiful man. Without a strong, righteous mind, he could not control the power of the gods. And... Weh? Oh boy. I think that was a load-bearing Ganondorf. Link, listen to me. This tower will collapse soon. With his last breath, Ganondorf is trying to crush us in the ruins of the tower. We need to hurry and escape. Please, follow me. Alright. Yeah, let's get the hell out of here. We've got 3 minutes. So yeah, this is sort of an escort mission as well. Zelda won't advance forward unless you walk alongside her. And yeah, you will need her power to open up these gates as well. Because I think she can just do that telepathically. Alright, which way did she go? Oh, there you are. Sorry, it's a bit dark in here. And yeah, she does get too nervous to move forward unless you're there with her. It is a collapsing building after all, but at the same time, she also doesn't want to leave you behind either, so... Zelda, how did you do that? Yeah, you didn't jump, you just levitated. There we go. Whoop. Oh, careful. Yeah, don't want to jump off the edge of this thing. Yeah, this isn't Breath of the Wild, I can't just do that. Oh, Norks. Oh, Jesus, yeah, he's, Ganondorf's still got a couple of loyal followers left. Right, well, that's one of them. Come on. Come on, big boy. Thank you, Link. Now let's hurry. Oh, nice. Yeah, she also dropped us some, yeah, some heart containers as well. Yeah. And to think that all that Mario gets is a cake. Actually, to be honest, I think if given the option, I think Link would rather be eating cake right now.
Phrasing. Shut up!
Aside from, yeah, trying not to get crushed to death under a giant, stone tower. Alright, yeah, still got half our time left. Well, actually, I think we're right near the end of it now, because this is like the indoor staircase. Yeah, I think we're down on the ground floor now, which is what it's called, people of the United States, not the first floor. First floor as in first floor up. Ground floor is the one on the very bottom. You know what? Actually, to tell you the truth, it does make a bit more sense in the US as well, because it's like the first floor that you enter. It's weird. We're weird. You're weird. Alright, one more gate. And we're out of here. Later, loser. Oh, so there was a bridge. Okay. You know, I guess we're like exiting the tower from the rear end. So why didn't we just come in here this way in the first place and just save our any trouble with the set? You know what? I'm not going to worry about it. But hey, at least now I know how Ganondorf went to the shops. I can't wait for all the people on the Hylian internet to start coming up with a bunch of conspiracy theories about how this tower fell. Jesus. But yeah, that's it. It's over. It's finally over. Link, I'm sorry I couldn't help you in the battle before. Yeah, well, you have a chance to redeem yourself now. Because, yeah. Again, I keep making Metal Gear references, I don't know why. But, yeah, to quote a certain Liquid Snake once again, not yet! It's not over yet! Ganondorf's still got a little bit of power left in him. And he's going to use it to transform into his true form. The Demon King himself. Half man, half pig, all Ganon. And you're not gonna lie, aesthetically, one of the best boss fights in the entire series. This looks absolutely radical. There's no way he's going to hold me back again. This time we fight together. So indeed, we finally got to take down Ganon himself. The only little problem is that he just knocked the Master Sword out of my hand, so that's a bit of a to-do. So yeah, we've got a couple of options here. We can obviously use the Bigoron Sword. If you didn't get the Bigoron Sword during your run through the game, you can also use the Megaton Hammer here as well. But yeah, what you want to do is his tail back there, yeah, that little spot on his tail, that's his weak point. Yeah, we'll just get behind it, give it a good thwacking until until he's ready to give in. But even then, we're not actually doing any damage to him. This is just this is basically just irritating him. Jesus. Yeah, be careful of those two giant swords of his as well. Those deal some raw damage. Come on, big boy, is that what you got? And yeah, this trick that I'm actually using here as well is basically like, yeah, it's by far and away like the best way to take on Ganon as well. Instead of Z targeting, roll between his legs, turn around and slash at his tail. Once we get to the second phase, that's more or less going to be mandatory, because at least at the moment he's attacking pretty slowly. So like for certain attacks, he'll just stand there for long enough for us to rotate around and hit him. Zelda, do you want to help out? The sword's right there. I don't actually remember if does the light arrows do anything. Yes, they do. Those stun him for a minute as well. So you've got that as an option too. And I think if you also like run low on like health or items, you can also get Ganon to smash these. Similar to like the Iron Knuckles, you can get him to smash these bits of debris here too. Ow. Okay, there we go. He's stunned for a bit. Link, the Master Sword is here. Hurry up. Yeah, Zelda, it's not that hard. It's not that heavy. It's like the weight of like a few bags of sugar. You could have yeeted it to me. Thanks. But anyway, now that Ganondorf is stunned, the fire barrier drops, you can finally grab the Master Sword, and now we can actually damage him. So yeah. And yeah, he's much faster this time around, so yeah, just roll between his legs and just hack at his tail. And he'll go down eventually. Ow. Yeah, like genuinely one, like, it's kind of weird though, isn't it? How, like, over the course of the game, we've been sort of conditioned to use Z targeting as much as possible. And yet, during this boss fight, using Z targeting is actually, like, kind of a detriment. You kind of want to, like, freewheel this. Yeah, because, like, in reality, it's actually really not that hard to fight, even with the Master Sword. It's really not that hard to fight without overly using Z targeting. It's just there if you want to be, like, a little bit more precise. Okay, now we got him. Oh, now you help. I'm using my power to hold the evil king. Use your swords and deliver the final blow. Yep, indeed. The Master Sword's the only thing that can finally do again. So let's go for it. Let's spit roast this fucking pig. Six sages, now! Ancient creators of Hyrule. Now, open the sealed door and send the evil incarnation of darkness into the void of the evil realm. Fire, water, spirit, shadow, forest, heart!
No, it's cool.
What?
Yeah, they got it taken care of.
So yeah, they may not do much in terms of gameplay, but they do ultimately come through in the end. You Curse you, Zelda! Curse you, sages! Curse you, Link. Someday, when this seal is broken, that is when I will exterminate your descendants. Yeah, well, there's quite a few games after this one, so I'd like to see you try, bumhole. That being said, if you do lose in the battle against Ganon, that does actually... Oh, hang on. As long as the Triforce of Power is in my hand. Oh, that's it. But yeah, we did it. We saved the day. And for some reason, we were blasted, like, up into the stratosphere. Are we falling? It doesn't feel like we're falling. Thank you, Link. So yeah, just as I was about to mention, yeah, like, it is obviously possible to lose this boss fight, because, yeah, it's a video game. If you do, that is actually accounted for in terms of, like, the overall timeline. Because according to a book that was released back in the early 2010s called The Hyrule Historia, there are, like, multiple different timelines that stem from Ocarina of Time that lead on to a bunch of the different games. If I remember correctly... the one where we defeat Ganon because spoiler alert, Link's about to get sent back to his original timeline where he was a kid. That timeline leads on to Majora's Mask and it leads on to Twilight Princess. I don't know if it might lead on to Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom as well. I'm not sure because those games kind of retcon a lot of stuff. A lot of this stuff salvageable anyway. But if you lose against Ganon. That, I believe, leads on... Yeah, like, obviously he takes over Hyrule, and, like, one of your descendants ends up taking over. And that's basically where, I believe, like, the original Legend of Zelda for the NES and Zelda 2 pick up from. I think A Link to the Past picks up from that point as well. And then, finally, there's, like, the timeline that we're going to leave behind, which eventually leads on to Wind Waker, Phantom Hourglass, and Spirit Tracks. I have absolutely no idea which timeline is linked to Super Smash Bros., and I have absolutely no fucking idea which timeline leads on to the CDI games, and frankly, I don't want to fucking know. So let's just get on with it. Thanks to you, Ganondorf has been sealed inside the evil realm. Thus, peace will once again reign in this world, for a time. All the tragedy that has befallen Hyrule was my doing. I was so young. I could not comprehend the consequences of trying to control the sacred realm. Okay, so now she sees it. At least we don't have to worry about her going all Captain Walker on us, at least.
None of this would have happened if you'd just stopped.
I dragged you into it too. Now it is time for me to make up for my mistakes. You must lay the Master Sword to rest and close the door of time. However, by doing this, the road between times will be closed. Link, give the Ocarina to me. Or else. She's got a Glock in that other hand. Yeah. As a sage, I can return you to your original time with it. When peace returns to Hyrule, it will be time for us to say goodbye. Now, go home, Link. Regain your lost time. Home, where you are supposed to be, the way you are supposed to be. Wouldn't playing the Song of Time make more sense? Ah, well, whatever. Not gonna lie, this is also one of the reasons why I particularly like both Skyward Sword and Breath of the Wild. Like, yeah, because it actually sort of like has a more developed relationship between Link and Zelda. Thank you, Link. goodbye. Because in this game, with these two have met, like, what, on two, maybe 3 occasions, and that was about it. But yeah, no, that's it. The adventure is finally over. That was The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. No, it's not my favourite video game of all time. It's not even in my top 10, to be honest. It's not even my favourite Zelda game. But you know what? This is genuinely one of the most important video games ever made. Like, this game, yeah, like, so many other video games, like, particularly, like, you know, action-adventure games, not just, like, in a fantasy setting, but just in general, owe a lot to games like Ocarina of Time, in terms of things like, you know, the way that they're structured, you know, like, the way that combat works, you know, the way that things like, you know, like, locking onto targets can work, and, like, you know, the way that stories are paced. Yeah, it is a genuinely important game. It's one of the founding fathers of modern-day video games. So although I don't love it in the same way that so many others do, I have nothing but respect for The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, when I'm not making stupid jokes, of course. But yeah, in terms of like my purest and rawest feelings, yeah, no, this game is really fucking good. Yeah, it's very well paced. It looks, I'm not gonna lie, although it's like sort of running off of like pretty old school infrastructure, I think it looks really great. I think it genuinely looks great. It's very colourful, like, yeah, it's got really good art direction. It controls very well. It does like sort of like incentivize you to overuse Z targeting for the most part, even though it's not really necessary. Like, they thought, yeah. I think Z targeting was primarily invented because the developers weren't sure how players would be able to orient themselves on a 3D plane like this with the camera facing behind them. But in reality, like, battling enemies without using Z targeting isn't too tough, isn't too taxing, and like in the final battle against Ganon, it's actually the preferable option. But, yeah, no, it is a genuinely really fun video game, and, like, yeah, I still find myself coming back and revisiting it, I think, arguably, like, more often than any other Zelda game, because it's also not too long, either. Like, it's yeah, it's definitely longer than, like, the earlier games, like, things like A Link to the Past and whatnot. But, yeah, no, it's only about, like, about 15, 20-odd hours, maybe, like, closer to 30 if you're going for, like, 100%. One other thing as well that might potentially be a bit of a, might be a bit of a hot take. I think I might, yeah, this isn't set in stone. Oh yeah, those two are definitely had a proper piss up.
I am Duck. Duck is me. I am Duck. Woo!
I think I might prefer Ocarina of Time over Majora's Mask as well. That might just be purely down to experience, however, because I've played through and completed Ocarina of Time multiple times. I've beaten Majora's Mask a grand total of once. How the fuck does that work? God, what is that thing made out of? But yeah, sort of a nice little detail here as well, that everybody's, like, celebrating Ganondorf's defeat. Because the thing with Majora's Mask is that, yeah, like, Majora's Mask at its core is very similar to Ocarina of Time, but also, how is there not, like, a magnitude 9 earthquake going on right now? I don't know. But, like, in many other ways, like, the core design of Majora's Mask is also very, very different as well. For some, it was actually arguably too different, to the point where a lot of players didn't get past, like, the first hour of Majora's Mask. But, you know, I do need a bit more experience with that game. I do need to go back through and play through it again, because it is great, but I think I prefer Ocarina of Time... Sorry. I prefer Ocarina of Time just a hair more, and I think that's primarily because I'm more familiar with it. Although in terms of pure design, yeah, Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom definitely clinch it, because those games are structured more like, you know, like the kind of the games that I genuinely really love, like stuff like They're very emergent in terms of their gameplay, where you could basically, like, here are your systems, come up with solutions, we're based around those systems, it'll probably work. Similar to how things like Fallout New Vegas, Cyberpunk, and Metal Gear Solid 5, Metal Gear Solid V are structured. But yeah, now that that's all said and done, the adventure is finally over. We can finally go back to our childhood. Sort of. Alright, Navi, it's just you and me against the world, bud. What do you say? Let's go and grab a couple of bottles of Lon Lon milk, head over to Zora's River and just chill out. Oh, you can just go away. Navi, where are you going? Little bitch ditched me. God damn it. Yeah, I've got no idea why Navi just pisses off like that at the very end. I think, if I remember correctly, I think it might actually be better explained at the end of the manga. But I think the general idea is that Navi feels like now that the adventures is over, she doesn't really have a purpose anymore, so she just leaves back for the forest. Even though in reality, like, I thought we were friends. It's exactly why Tattle is way better. Also, she wouldn't shut up. Nah, I'm totally kidding. Like, people sort like people. I didn't really go into much detail about it. Loads of people said that they find Navi incredibly annoying in this game. No, not really. It's she goes like, "Hey, listen" every now and then, but that's about it. And there we go. Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time is finally complete. And I think it just lays on this screen from here on out. I think if you want, you have to like hit the reset button to go back to the menu. But yeah, no, that is The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, folks. One of the most important video games ever made. It is an absolute childhood classic for so many across the world, and it is definitely deserving of like the accolades that it has, even if it doesn't hold the same kind of place in my heart as it does so many others. It's a game that I genuinely enjoy, and it's a game I'll be going back and revisiting many times to come. Maybe not as often as Banjo-Kazooie though, but whatever. But hey, with that all said and done, it's timely fine for us. Finally time to move on to our next project. And you know what? I was sort of thinking of like this was going to be like a trilogy of Nintendo games. Like with Metroid, we did Pikmin, and then with finishing off with Legend of Zelda. But you know what? I'm going to squeeze one tiny little one into the mix just before we move on to the next big project that I want to get onto. Yeah, you can't have Nintendo without Mario, can you? And Mario Kart World just launched alongside the Switch 2, so why don't we finally get around to having a look at the Mario Kart games for the channel, starting off, of course, with Mario Kart 64 for the Nintendo 64. I will be playing out on the NSO as well, and I'm not gonna lie, that's a game that's quite close to my heart, because, yeah, that was actually the very first Mario game I ever played in my entire life. Ever. Like, I still remember, like, picking, like, yeah, like, booting that game up, picking, like, Grand Prix 50cc, and then choosing Yoshi as my first character, because he was a dinosaur, and I was a kid, and dinosaurs were cool. So yeah, we're going to do a quick playthrough of Mario Kart 64, and then we'll move on to the next big project, which we'll get onto that a little bit later on. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time, and I'll see you guys next time for Mario Kart 64. TTFN.
I won!